Hello, 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 hello. It is Thursday and it's a new episode of Chit Chat with Bernie Bella. I'm your host, Bernie Dean. So, welcome to episode 37. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Drop a comment, say hello, say hi, share the live. Let's get chatting. So, if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. We stream live Thursdays at 9 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. And a few of the topics we'll be talking about tonight are a Southwest passenger was masturbating on the flight. Bunny Diamond died. Kourtney Kardashian may or may not be married. Murder mystery author is jailed for killing her husband, and many other stories. So stay tuned in. Previous episodes can be found on our YouTube channel, so visit the site, like, comment, subscribe, and set your notifications to get notified when we go live. Chattings with Bernie is a talk show where we discuss sports, politics, current affairs, entertainment, gossip, and news. Also, what's happening in our community specific to Canada and Jamaica with a bit of the world thrown in. Your thoughts and opinions are always welcome, so thank you for joining me. Alrighty, so we're going to start off as usual with our entertainment section. And on the entertainment scene this week, the untimely death of yet another member of the Mighty Diamonds singing group. So Bunny Diamond, another one of the founding member of the and singer of the Mighty Diamonds group, died just days after the shocking murder of Diamond's lead singer, Tabby Diamond Shaw. The reggae group has been plunged into mourning yet again, and with the passing of Fitzroy Bunny Diamond Simpson passed away Friday morning after a long battle with diabetes. He had previously suffered a minor stroke on October 26, 2015, while driving. Tabby Bunny and Judge have released over 40 albums in their long career. The group was bestowed the Order of Distinction in the officer class in 2021 on Jamaica's 59th anniversary of independence. So again, three members of the Mighty Diamond, and within a week, two passed away. One was killed and one passed away from illness. If you're joining, Angie, and hey, Colleen, how are you? Drop a comment, say hi, say hello. Let me know you guys can hear me. Share the live and keep me updated on the Raptors score. So we're moving on. As you all know, we're still in the entertainment section. Jack Cure was sentenced to 6 years in prison for attempted manslaughter a couple of weeks ago. At that point in time, he was also acquitted of attempted murder charges. However, the Dutch prosecutors have filed an appeal against the acquittal on the attempted murder charge. So both the defense and the prosecutors had 2 weeks in which to file their appeals. So I guess the prosecutor think that he should be charged for the more serious crime of attempted murder. So they've filed an appeal to try to get that acquittal overturned and for him to, get convicted on that charge. And if that happens, he's never coming out of jail over there. So hopefully he's got very good lawyers that can do what they're supposed to do. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with that. So we're going to go around to Rihanna, or should I say billionaire Rihanna. So congrats are in order for Rihanna, who's made Forbes 2022 billionaires list, making her the first Barbados billionaire, as well as the world's richest female musician with $1.7 billion. Imagine Rihanna being the first billionaire in Barbados. That for me was like, I thought Barbados had other millionaires, but for her to be the first billionaire of Barbados, the first billionaire female singer, and I'm assuming she's the first billionaire national hero because she's a national hero in Barbados. So kudos to her. She achieved this feat with her musical career, her Fenty Beauty brand, and her Savage by Fenty brand. So, congrats to Miss Rihanna Fenty or Robin Fenty. And moving on, we're gonna touch on Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. There was debate over whether they're legally married, as it was reported that they had a wedding ceremony in Las Vegas over the last weekend, which was a Grammy weekend. So they'd gone to the Grammys, and when the Grammys concluded in the early wee hours of the morning, in the 2 o'clock, they went to the famous One Love wedding. Chaplain requested that an Elvis impersonator marry them, which was done. They went with their security peoples. The chaplain wasn't allowed to take any pictures. They were the only ones that took pictures, and they did post those pictures. And Kourtney's also posted that they were practicing. So maybe it's the practice of getting married. They got engaged last October, so whether they got married or not, good luck to them. I guess they exchanged vows, but it's not legal because they didn't have a wedding license, a marriage license. Okay, so moving on. This particular story has been going on for a few years with Cardi B and Tasha K. This particular story has annoyed me because Tasha K used to say derogatory things about Cardi B on her show. She's got a YouTube. Tasha K is a vlogger. She's got a YouTube channel where she, interviews people and she talks about celebrities and all of that kind of stuff. Now, she, over the years, have made comments about Cardi B, the fact that Cardi B has an STI, and that Cardi B cheated on her husband, all kinds of things about Cardi B. In the program, she admits that she doesn't know if what she's saying is true. Okay. Cardi B took her to court. When they went to court, Cardi B had to provide medical information to prove that she did not have STI, sexually transmitted diseases or infections. So the trial went on. It went on for 4 years. The whole process took 4 years. A few months ago, about December, January, Cardi B won the case, and the judge ordered Tasha K to pay Cardi B $4 million in damages, as well as remove all of the YouTube videos that had the derogatory comments about Cardi B. Now, you would think that this Tasha K person would say, okay, but losing a court and whatever. She went on the court, on the stands. She admitted that she lied in the videos. She admitted that her stories were false. Yet, when she lost the case, she decided that, one, she was going to appeal, and two, she wasn't going to remove the videos. Dumb and dumber. So what did Cardi B do? Took her back to court. So they went back to court, and this week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, the judge ordered Tasha K to remove all her videos that had any information, any talk, any mention of Cardi B. So, don't know if that's been done yet. And we're still waiting to see how the appeal of the $4 million damages, how that goes. So we'll see what happens. But man, I mean, I'm getting into the business of being a vlogger and stuff, but to literally go in your videos and tell lie on people and calling, making up stories and stuff just for views and likes. Not cool. Not cool at all. So, hey Nana, how are you? I saw you on your vacation, girl. I was living vicariously through you because you definitely enjoyed yourself. So, moving on, we're still in the entertainment section. I'm touching on the Grammys. All I know and all I'm going to say is Spice, Sean Paul, Gramps Morgan, Itana, and Jesse Royal did not win the Grammy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm leaving it right there. That's it. No stories, no nothing. There's been a whole lot of uproar. There's been a whole lot of things said. People are turned against artists because Chronix come out and say something. Mr. Vegas come out and say something. Everybody have something to say. I'm not a singer. I don't buy music. I hardly listen to music. I just do it because of research and whatever, or, but that was the Grammys. It came and went. It wasn't won by a Jamaican. It wasn't won by people who they thought would have won it. It was won by somebody who Jamaicans don't know, but the world does. And that's all that matters on that part. So we're moving on to the sports section. And Raptors are doing well so far. They're playing Philadelphia right now. The game is tied 2-2 because I got my TV on. The game is tied at 2-2. And after tonight, they've got 2 more games to play. And, they were not one of the teams that would have, that analysts expected to make the playoffs. But they did make the playoffs. They are in 5th position. For my own selfish reason, I need them to win this game and the next 3 games so that they can move up to 4th position. I see you, Bob, watching. How are you? So that they can move up to 4th position so I can win my bet. So, I'm hoping, but fingers crossed. They're doing well. They've done decent throughout the season, and I'm just happy that, they've made it to the playoffs. So, Maple Leafs, they lost their last game against Florida the other night. They were up 5-1. 5-1 they were up and lost the game in overtime, 7-6. Man, that hurts. But they're playing Dallas tonight, so let's see how... if they're winner or not. They are going to be going into the playoffs. They are sitting 2nd in their division. So, the Maple Leafs, them always go a playoff and I get licked out in the first round. So, we'll see what happens. Toronto FC, they did win their last game against the New York City FC last Saturday. They're going to play again against Real Salt Lake on this Saturday. They've moved up some. They were 12th in the conference. Now they've moved up to 7th. So, with the games picking back up because they took a break for the FIFA World Cup qualifications. So, with games picking back up, let's hope that they start to win and we'll go from there. And tomorrow, my boys in blue are going to start. So, today's the start of the Major League Baseball. Tomorrow is a season opener for the Blue Jays. So they're going to be playing the Texas Rangers at the Rogers Center, and it is their first game back since 2019. I didn't even know that it's their first game back. I thought that they'd played there, but I guess they did all their games in Tampa for 2020 and 2021 because of COVID. So tomorrow is the first time in 3 years that we're going to have baseball. So that is the sports roundup. And please to keep me updated on the scores. And we're going to go into the news section. We're starting in the USA where federal judge, now Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, was confirmed today as a Supreme Court Justice making her the first black woman to reach the top court. So I was watching that today. And what was striking for me was that the first female vice president, the first black vice president, was a female, handed was the one who had to sit, do the counts and all of that, and confirmed her. So, from one first black female vice president to the first black Supreme Court female Supreme Court justice, that was just historic in that sense. But for me, I need us to get to a point where we can stop saying it's the first black person to do this or the first black person to do that. It should be normal. It should get to a point where we expect and we put black people in the position to win, or we put black, we should be elevating on a regular basis and get to the part where we're stop saying it's the first black or the first Asian or the first South Asian. We need to get to that part. All right. And so Miss Ketanji, she's doing the do. She is doing the do. So good luck to her. We're going to cycle around to St. Louis, and with that being said, this news story for me was a little bit I don't know, it was a little bit odd. And I don't know if there was ever a good time for him to do this, but baseball player, he plays for St. Louis Cardinals, Albert Pujols. On Monday, he announced that he was filing for divorce from his wife, Deidre. They had been married for 22 years. And people had a whole lot to say about his decision to file for divorce. And why they had issues with it was due to the fact that last Friday, his wife had brain surgery. So she had a brain tumor removed on Friday, and he announced on Monday that they were getting a divorce after 22 years. And he wasn't with her while she was having surgery. He was at spring training camp working while she was having brain tumor surgery. And people are saying, one, he should have waited, but for how long? If you're not together and you've come to a decision that you're gonna get divorced, does it matter that you announce that you're getting a divorce just when your wife has had major surgery? Or should it matter if you know that you are no longer together with your wife and you and your wife have come to an agreement that, yeah, we're going to get divorced and all of that stuff? Should it matter that should it matter when he announced it? So let me know your thoughts on that, because some people, like I said, some people have issues with it. I don't know, I'm of two minds regarding it. So if it's something that it would have been something that they've discussed and have agreed to, and it's in their house, they do their due. But who are we to be looking in and say, hey, he shouldn't have announced the divorce at that time? So let me know your thoughts on that. All right, so we're moving on we're gonna go to Jamaica. And Nzinga King. So a few months ago, I think he was back maybe in September, October. A young lady came out stating that the police had cut her locks while she was locked up in jail, and there was a big uproar. They made statements. They were interviewed by the Gleaner. There was a march. Rastafarians came out and marched against what they saw as abuse by the police. Couple of people who came out anonymously stating that they were friends of hers came out and said that she was the one that cut her locks, but because she was fearful of what her mother would say, she decided to tell a lie on the police to say that it was a cops that cut her locks. Now, there was an investigation, and earlier this week, I think it was yesterday, based on the investigation, it was concluded that the police officer unlawfully cut Nzinga's hair while she was in custody. They recommended that the police officer be charged with assault for cutting the hair. They're saying that the police officer basically took offense and revenge on Miss King. That's why she cut her hair, and that Miss King should be compensated for the infringement on her constitutional rights. And they're stating that criminal proceedings should be brought against the policewoman that cut her hair, and she may also be disciplined by the JCF. So this is just a next step in the process. We're going to have to wait to see. They didn't state how much money Nzinga should be paid, and they didn't state, as of yet, there's no indication of how much, of whether what disciplinary measures are going to be taken against her by the JCF. And we're not quite sure yet if actual assault charges are going to be brought by Nzinga and her family. So it is quite interesting. They're saying the prosecutor should be charged to look how they disgraced her in the ruling. Well, that is left to be seen, so we'll have to see what happens with that and see how that goes, because that you've made an interesting point on that part. So we should see how that goes, and hopefully maybe that'll happen. You never know. So maybe that will happen. So we're staying in Jamaica, and a man accused of attempted murder is now nursing serious injuries in hospital after he was collared and mauled by an angry mob in Mount Airy, St. Andrew on Wednesday night. The man is one of 3 men who allegedly attacked a popular businessman from the rural community as he drew down the shutters to his establishment. Police report that the men held the business operator with a knife to his throat and informed him that he was about to meet his end. The victim managed to wriggle his way out of the grasp of his attackers and made an alarm, which stirred community members into action. It's not funny, but it's funny. The police were summoned while a band of angry citizens searched for the attackers. The men were held after they attempted to flee in a vehicle, and then the mob beat and chopped 2 of the 3 men. One man was found bleeding profusely with chop wounds to his arms, back, and head. Police ferried him to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was admitted and is being treated for his injuries. His condition is listed as critical. Residents claim that the other two men managed to escape in the hilly terrain. It is believed that one of the attackers escaped serious injury after he plunged himself into a deep ravine to escape the frothing mob. The car that was being driven by the accused attempted murderers was also burnt to a crisp by the angry mob. So that businessman, as I'm say, whichever side him sleep on the night before, him have to go sleep on that again. And then with that being said, knowing that he got like he was going to be killed and he escaped, does he still stay there? Does he still run his business and all that, all of that. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But it is what it is. Hey, Charmaine, how are you? Another person who I was living vicariously through them while they were on their vacation. So glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. And I'm going to circle around to London now. And that story, sometimes you have to wonder what go through people's minds. Sometimes you have to wonder what happened with people, why they do the things they do. So a London man who strangled his Jamaican born grandmother to death before having sex with her corpse twice will remain in a psychiatric hospital indefinitely. Donovan Miller, who lived alone with his grandmother in East London, attacked 76-year-old Phyllis Grant while she was asleep. It is reported that Miller hit the elderly woman repeatedly with a vase before raping her corpse twice. The 31-year-old then called the police emergency line and admitted to his crimes, stating enough is enough. When the case was brought to court, it was revealed that Miller was his grandmother's caregiver and that he made the report to the police. So on the evening of March 25th, he made a 999 call. He told the reporter that he would like to report the murder of a family member. He said the person who had been murdered was his grandmother and that he had killed her the previous night by choking her while she was asleep. He said there'd been a tussle and that he strangled her for a while and then had to use a vase to knock her out. He claimed he had hit her a few times on the head and he described their home as messy. When paramedics came on the night of his arrest, he said, "I raped her as well, for what it's worth. Yesterday and today." He told police he was dependent on cocaine but had no mental health issues. So that was last year. A year later, after Miller was psychiatrically assessed as mentally unfit for trial, he pleaded guilty to manslaughter by diminished responsibility and was handed an indefinite hospital order on Wednesday, March 30th. Let me know what you guys say. I don't even know where to go with it. I don't know where to go with it. I don't know where to take it. Like, how you kill your grandmother and then decide, oh, I'm gonna have sex with her. That's your grandmother. How you kill her and then decide, oh yeah, let me have sex with her. Not once, but twice. 2 times. 2 times. Man, that's crazy. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Don't get it. Like, how that happened? Like, how you figure? What you do? How? Colleen says, this guy is really sick. Charmaine said, man sick, head no good. But I don't even know if we go with that or how we go with it or what to, because that's crazy. That is crazy. Crazy. But it is what it is. I don't know. It's just what it is. But we're moving on. We're coming to Ontario, and I don't know if you guys have heard, but we're in an election year. Election is in June. So during election time, there's lots of promises. So one of the promises that's been made is that minimum wage will be increased by another 50% by another 50 cents. So minimum wage was increased to $15. It'll be increased to $15.50 after the election starting in the election is in June. The increase will be on January 1st, on October 1st. So in January, minimum wage was increased from $14.35 to $15. And on October 1st, it will be raised to $15.50. No, I am all for the increase in the minimum wage. I am all for there being a livable wage. So minimum wage should be more. But the thing that annoys me is that the previous government that was in place, the Liberal government, Catherine Wynne, when they were in place back 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they had set it where the minimum wage was supposed to increase by a certain amount every year. And when good old Dougie Ford came in, he got rid of that. He got rid of that, stating that the businesses could not afford the increase as they were set up. Right? He got rid of it. And he got rid of it before the pandemic started. So it wasn't like we were in a pandemic and he decided to put it on hold because of the pandemic. No. Way before the pandemic started. So he was elected in 2018. In 2018 or early 2019 was when he did away with the minimum wage incremental increases, which by now would have been at $16 or above $16, and now we're still at $15. When he did that, he said at the time that it would have been too expensive for businesses to absorb the increase, so he did away with it. Now, coming out of a 2-year pandemic when businesses weren't making money, businesses had to rely on government subsidy, and we're going into an election, he thinks it's okay to now increase minimum wage because we're going into an election. I see you, Dougie. I see you. I see you. I see you. Anyways, we're circling around. That's my little rant on that. We're circling around to Indonesia. And this gentleman here, Harry Wirawan, who is a teacher in Indonesia, was sentenced to death on April 4th after being convicted of grooming and raping 13 girls from an Islamic school from 2016 to 2021. 8 of the girls became pregnant as a result of his abuse, and it was reported that they range in ages from 11 to 14. Wirawan was initially sentenced to life in prison in February, but prosecutors filed an appeal for the teacher to be sentenced to death instead. Apparently, this appeal was successful because the death penalty ruling came down on Monday. So that's what's going to be happening. Now, he worked at a school, what we would call a group home, where it's for troubled kids who are coming from abusive homes or coming from bad homes or don't have parents and all of that kind. Those are the kids who went to this home for a better life, to get better treatment and stuff, and to only run up into this teacher who abused them and impregnated a few of them. So needless to say, the death penalty for him is a little bit too mild. But it is what it is. You know, this is when you should, I would advocate for stoning and lashing, like daily lash. Every day you take out, if a 20 pitney him abuse, every day you take him out and give him 20 lash. Every day for as long as him live, you take him out and give him 20 lash. That part, I would agree with that part. So we're going to circle back to Jamaica. So Nana says, Nana says dirty ass will damage the poor kids them even more. Exactly, because they were being abused at home, coming from a bad home. This is where they went to get help, and that's what he did to them. I mean, you have to wonder about the people that will work in a school and abuse kids, or in a group home and abuse kids, knowing that, and those are the people that put themselves in position to look after kids, knowing their proclivities, knowing that that's why they're there is to abuse kids, and they put themselves in the position to give them access to abuse the kids. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. But we're circling to Jamaica, and apparently there's a new scam going on in Trelawney and St. Anne, and it's a truck stealing ring whereby the robbers' modus operandi is to pose as customers and charter haulage contractors operating small trucks to deliver construction material purchased at various hardware stores. The haulage contractors are then told to deliver the material at pre-arranged locations where 2 or 3 armed men are lying in wait, and who then steal the vehicles. Me want to know who I buy them the something there. Because the thing is, you go to the hardware store, you buy the goods, put it on your truck, and you deliver it now to the contractor, to who you think is a legitimate contractor, for you to then get paid. Only to find out, say, a man set you up for rob you. So now you not only lose your truck, you lose the goods on the truck, and lose the money that you use to pay for the goods on the truck. So to the people who are doing the robbery, me want to know who I buy from them. Who are those people buying from the robbers? Nana says, scammer them a step up for real. I mean, you can imagine to sit down and think this through. Because them have a planet. So you have to sit down, you have to think it through. You have to say, okay, you are going to do that and me are going to do that, and then you are going to call and you be the one for call and you be the one for this, and this is how we are. It's a whole plan. So imagine if they had put all that planning into legitimate businesses, how much more successful these robbers would be. But me want to know who I buy the goods from them. Me want to know who I buy the goods from them. The only, I would say, good thing about it so far is that nobody has died yet. Nobody's been killed yet in this particular scamming. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Because what they do too is they work in groups. So one person takes the truck and drive it away, leaving you with the 2 people them who are guard you at gunpoint. And I guess when the vehicle reach where it's supposed to go, that particular driver then calls back and say, hey, you can let him go and you come now. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But we're going to circle around to Oregon, and I found this particular story interesting. It was a situation of art, or life imitating art. So the lovely lady on screen, her name is Nancy Crampton Brophy. She wrote an essay called How to Murder Your Husband. She is now accused of fatally shooting her husband to death to gain more than $1.5 million in life insurance. So she's been remanded in custody since her arrest in September 2018, and she's facing murder charge for the murder of her husband, Daniel Brophy. Apparently, he was killed while he was getting ready for work in Portland on June 2nd in 2018. Apparently, he was alone in the kitchen when he was killed, and there was no suspect. So based on video evidence, CCTV video evidence from outside the building, the only likely person that would have been able to have access to him to shoot him was his wife. So since then, they've arrested his wife. She's in prison. But imagine writing an essay about how to kill your wife, how to kill your spouse, and then being charged for killing your spouse. So I'm assuming that, her writing it out was her getting ready to kill her husband. So Colleen says, game I get hot. All I need to know is that Philly is winning. Raptors is winning. Raptors are going to beat Philly. Fingers crossed. That's it. That is it. That is it. So we're circling around to Madison County, and officials discovered the corpse of 30-year-old Jamie Joyner and her 34-year-old sister, Jessica Joyner. So this situation is, Jamie is married to a guy by the name of Adam Cobb. Jamie decided that she no longer wants to be married to Adam Cobb, so she's going to leave him. She called her sister. They had a conversation. Her sister said, okay, I'm going to fly in, help you pack, help you move out your stuff, and you're moving back home. Adam Cobb decided that nope, he does not want to lose his wife, so he ended up killing his wife and her sister, and he also shot himself. And he took police, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But, people heard the shootings. He ran away. They found him in his vehicle along the side of the road because they tracked his cell phone number. He went on a high-speed chase with the cops. He didn't want to go to jail, so he did the next best thing. He killed himself. That's what he did. Which is fine, but now a parent has to bury two daughters because some guy thinks that his wife should not leave him. Dear men, we are not possessions. If we and you don't get along, it is okay to find somebody else. Dear men. Anyways, we're moving on to the next story, and this has to deal with Southwest Airline. So imagine sitting on a plane by yourself, random stranger who has a seat next to you decides, he takes his seat, flight takes off, but he then decides he's going to pull down his pants, pull down his underwear, and not one time, not two times, not three times, but four times. 4 times. He's going to pleasure himself. 4 times. Not only that, the lady that was sitting beside him took out her camera and took pictures. You would think he would stop, but no. He continued. When asked why he did it, he said he thought it was kind of kinky. And he thought that one of the ladies sitting beside him did not appear to be uncomfortable with it because she took pictures. Mind you, it wasn't even a long flight. It was a 3-hour flight. You mean to tell me that in 3 hours, he got that horny that he had to do himself 4 times? 4 times. And not only that, this is the gross part. He used his mouth to clean his hands when he was done. Something in the ear. Something in the ear where it'll make people go crazy. It'll make people do things where you have to wonder, what the hell were you thinking? Something is in the air. So because of all of that he did, Southwest has banned him permanently from flying on their airline. So he's on Southwest no fly list. He's got a lifetime ban from traveling on the airline. But I mean, how? Why? Why? I'm just like, Colleen said, BB, look like you come back with more six stories than before. Listen, the things them out there, the things them out there, the things them out there, Colleen said the man sick, the things them out there, like, I don't even have to go, like, sometimes I'd go research strange stories. I don't even have to research strange stories. Like, the things them are there, right there, right, just there. I'm telling you. I even got a copy of the court case against him. Like, the man, the people them cray cray. The people them are cray cray. Cray cray. But we're going to go around to Tennessee, which another story which I'm finding, again, I didn't have to go search for it, but in Tennessee, they have decided that they are going to eliminate age requirements for marriage in the state of Tennessee. So what that means is currently they have a minimum. Currently, age 17 is the minimum age that you can get married without requiring your parents' consent or without being charged as a pedophile. Right? Age 17. Tennessee is currently being ruled by Republicans, and these Republicans think that it is okay to eliminate age requirements for marriage in the state. That means if a 12-year-old gets up or a 6-year-old gets up and say, hey, I want to get married, and there's somebody willing to marry that 6-year-old, it's okay based on the law that they're putting in place. And they're going to establish that common law marriage is between one man and one woman. They can live together in common law. It's okay. Right? So there's no longer any age requirement for there to be a common law living or for there to be common or to get married. So the pedophiles in that state are going to have a field day. A field day. Because the parents don't have to give permission. And the thing about it is, in the Philippines, that was one of the countries where child marriage was like rampant. They've banned that practice in December. And you would think that the USA, which is, first world and the whole thing, that is something that they would not put in place. But, oh no. They decided that it's going to be okay. It's okay. Upside down is not the word. I think there's something in the water nowadays. I think that, I think something is in the water that's letting people go do crazy things. But it is what it is. We're going to circle around to, let's see, Colleen says Raptors. Anyways, thank you. As long as we win, we keep winning. Need to win a couple more. There's 2 more games left. I just need them to get into the 4th position. Again, 4th, I need them to be 4th. I need them to be fourth. Anyways, we're going to go around to Sacramento. And these two lovely gentlemen on screen. I don't know if you guys heard about the mass shooting that was in Sacramento over the weekend. I think it was about 16 people who were shot. I think maybe 3 died. So the gentleman on the left is responsible, and his brother on the right is responsible for that. The sad part is that the gentleman on the left just got out of the jail a month ago. He was sentenced to 10 years in 2018. When he went up for parole, the prosecutors argued that because of the crime that he committed to put him in jail, he should not be allowed to get parole because he had no regards for human life. So he should not be given parole or anything of that nature. Well, they didn't listen and they gave him parole. And for somebody who should have still been in jail, serving another 6 to 8 years on his sentence, he was allowed to come out, and now 6 people have died and another 10 or 12 people are nursing different kinds of wounds because of the shooting. So, and they're about 24, 25. So they've been criminals pretty much all their lives. But if he was allowed to remain in jail, if he wasn't paroled to come out, he would have not been able to be a part of the shooting where 6 people died. So that's crazy. But Colleen said, and as he came out, him kill off the people them. Yup. 1 month out a road. 1 month. But what do you do? Anyways, we're going to circle around to Jamaica Buzz, because let me tell you, the news that's coming out with regards to the scammers in Jamaica, me don't know where them the people that come from. Me don't know how the mindset reached this, but you know how you hear say athletes like boxers and runners and stuff, some of them abstain from sex before playing a game because, energy and all of that. So the scammers in Jamaica, well, some of them are saying that they've been abstaining from sex and refusing to take bath. Can you imagine that you live in Jamaica and not bed? As part of rituals aimed at guaranteeing success in their attempts to trick unsuspecting persons in the USA that they have won sweepstakes. A group of so-called chappers told the Star that they rely heavily on good luck oils, incense, and scented candles while carrying out their illicit operations. I wonder if I can go open one business down there and sell some of them something there. According to the scammers, all we do is get the client name and light up with candle, rub on the aisle, and talk what we desire from the client. Them time when we are chap, we don't bid because we don't want to rub off the luck, and we don't have sex cause we body half it pure. Jamaican police have long said that scammers have reportedly turned to the occult world to protect them from evil and law enforcement officers. Scammers have been wearing guard rings, others drink from human skulls, and some are thought to be engaging in human sacrifice. However, based on the account of the 4 teenage, did I mention they were teenagers? Teenage scammers with whom the Star spoke last week, the use of science in lottery scamming has moved beyond providing protection for the players. It now involves providing luck. According to one of them, Me know a woman who sell incense and she not have an to sell. A teenage high school dropout said. People have been bilked out of thousands of dollars by Jamaican fraudsters who make telephone calls to persons in the USA claiming that they've won large cash prizes and vacation getaways or other prizes. Apparently, as you all know, St. James are the epicenter of the scamming link, but it's gone to other parishes within the island. So the star went along, and according to them, they observed the boys, 4 boys, when they were doing their scamming. None of them were older than 16. And apparently, there was a funny part in the story where it says that the boys them couldn't even speak English proper. They couldn't even speak English proper, and but they were still able to scam the man in $400 by telling him that him shop at Target and he's getting a gift from Target and he need to send them $400 in order to get the gift from Target. Hey Carlene, how are you? How are things? I don't understand. But the part that got me was them not have sex and them not bathe because them no want rub off the look and the body have to pure to scam. Me need to understand that mindset. I need to understand why your body has to be pure in order to go scam people. It don't make sense. It don't make sense at all. And we're staying in Jamaica because a lot's been happening in the JCF lately. There was an article a couple of weeks ago where they arrested a gang, and 4 members of the gang were active duty police officers. Carlene says, all good, girl. That's good. Colleen says, these little thrives shouldn't even be having sex yet. They shouldn't be having sex, but man, because I don't know if y'all recall, but there was a stabbing at William Nib School in Trelawney, my alma mater, and the stabbing was over, where the kid died was over a gathering, and apparently the gathering cost over $200,000. I was wondering where them I get $200,000 from to go buy a gathering. I mean, I wonder when the parents say the kids with these things, if them not ask them where to come from, where them get the money for buy it, right? But licky parents will always be the downfall of their kids. Anyways, back to the police story. So, since 2021, 17 members of the JCF were refused re-enlistment. So, I don't know if it's on a yearly basis or every 2 years where you have to get re-enlisted. You have to requalify. You have to do tests and you have to do shootings and all of that too. And also show that you're of a good character in order to get re-enlisted with the JCF. So 17 members last year were refused re-enlistment because of their character, because of the things that they were doing, and because of the charges against them. So Indicom also came out and said that they're not having as much luck in pursuing some of the charges against some of the police officers because the JCF is not providing them with the information that they require in order to do this work. So according to Indicom, between January 2018 and June 2021, they submitted 80 reports to the JCF for disciplinary actions. And out of that 80, they're saying something like it was like about 4 or 5 that actually progressed further. Like they haven't gotten the information that they need in order to progress further. But I know that the superintendent of police came out and said that they're making some changes, and in the next few months there'll be some changes seen where again more officers will be delisted. They will, they'll be removed from the JCF. So we'll see what happens, because again, mouth talk, mouth talk. We're staying in Jamaica, but we're gonna go to St. Catherine. So a St. Catherine cashier is accused of stealing almost $500,000 from her employer, and her bail was extended when she appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court yesterday. She's charged with 8 counts of embezzlement. The allegations are that between August and October of 2020, while the accused was employed at a corporate area restaurant, she embezzled $422,654. It is alleged that when customers made payments using debit or credit cards, the accused produced duplicate receipts from point of sale terminal and then used the duplicates to apply to cash payments made by other customers. It is further alleged that she pocketed the cash equivalent to the amount on the duplicate receipts, and at the end of her shifts would submit the duplicate receipts to indicate that payment was made using a debit or credit card. Following an audit at the restaurant, a report was made to the police, and the cashier was later arrested and charged. And the prosecution requests the adjournment because they're saying that they're still waiting on some bank statements to be submitted to them so that they can have a good idea of exactly how much money she stolen. Now, when I read this story, I was trying to figure out how the scam go. In my head, I try to figure out how the scam go. And it took me a while to figure it out. This is another example of a lady wasting her talent. Wasting her talent. Wasting her talent. But we're staying in Jamaica. And this particular story made me, I was annoyed. I was annoyed with this particular story. And, when you guys can hear it, listen it, and then tell me your thoughts on it. So Daisy, it's not her real name, but her pseudonym. She has not seen her husband Roy, another pseudonym, since January. And it's not because Roy is missing. According to Daisy, Roy walked out of their relationship and is now in the arms of a younger woman. So 58-year-old Daisy feels gutted by the situation. She said that she and Roy were together for 35 years, the last 7 of which were as a married couple. So only there for 35 years, I only married for 7 years. Wanna buy. Anyways, the relationship, she said, was rock solid, and that she dedicated herself to ensuring that her husband was well taken care of. The despondent wife told the Star that her 50-year-old husband walked out on her shortly after she nursed him back to good health. He was in an accident. He was cutting a tree, and when him cut the limb, it swing back and lick him off, and him come down headway. He was admitted to the University of the West Indies Hospital for a long time. He was there for many months, and he did have tubes all over his body. He was on oxygen and whatever, and it's her husband. She was there for him all the way through. Anyways, he came out of the hospital. He got better. He got a new job. When he went to the job, he met a woman, started dating the woman, and apparently that particular woman is now pregnant. According to Daisy, Roy tell her, said the girl pregnant for him. According to Daisy, Roy would be at home, sitting in front of Daisy, video chatting with him girl. Him do everything in front of Daisy for the girl. Daisy say him hurt my feelings for that girl. Him discriminate me, tell me bad things, talk bad about me, everything you can think about. She said that she has not seen her husband since January, and all her attempts to talk about their current situation has been futile. Daisy say him nah maintain me, him reject me call, nothing at all. Him leave me here for how much months that I walk up on street stress. Me can't even tell you the amount of things. I wasn't looking this from Roy. I never know that Roy could hurt me so. Just true I speak to him about the girl cause we are married couple and me say to him say you can't come in at the house which part me there and a video call her and a chat to her same place when me sit down. Roy, on the other hand, denies that this was ever the case. He stated that he had endured endless nagging about the other woman. He said that he was unfairly accused of being involved with her, but his wife got so overbearing that he decided that he would sleep with the new woman at work. According to Roy said, me not play no game, you know. Me not get no bad name and not play no game. So I did go and play the game. Cause she tell me say, me and the woman out a road there. So I did go play the game. He said that he has no regrets leaving his wife and stressed that although she cared for him while he was ill, she was not the only one who made sacrifices in the relationship. According to Roy, enough things me do for she and her picnic them before this happened to me. Enough things me do for them. Daisy, on the other hand, is hoping to save her marriage. She wants Roy to come home. According to Daisy, them did live good. Him no left me go nowhere and me no left him go nowhere. So I would take him back, yes, because me make a vow, she said. Roy, however, is not so keen on that idea. According to Roy, the only thing me I go for are my clothes. Me no want get back together with she cause if me get back with she, a debt I go on and me no want that happen. I don't want nothing to do with her, he said, adding that he has left his wife in the matrimonial home for her to enjoy its use and comfort. Wanna tell me one thing? Come and want slap Daisy. I understand that Uno there for 35 years. And if him can't get up, don't drop in the comments. Let me know one of the things. So Colin say, right, too rude. Him they going come again. There's your idiot who going kill who. Here's what me think. If Roy can't get up and just Colin said Daisy a clown. Daisy a full clown and yamen. If Roy can't get up and just left Daisy so, that means that over the 35 years where them the Roy cheat on Daisy enough time. Because if he must say him naina do, but because Daisy and nag him about it, him go do. I lie Raya tell. And then Daisy a idiot. Because I say, you cannot sit down in the same house where me there a video call your girlfriend. I mean, I knock you out. Them say violence is not the answer, but in my house is self-defense. That is self-defense. If you a call your girl, video call, the same girl one in my house, you a video call a girl and I sit down and I talk and I have conversation in my house with you and your girl. No. Charmaine said, I hope she ensure he just come for the clothes. And Caroline says, wake up Daisy. Him can't come for the clothes. Cause ashes are go left. Me, I go burn every piece of clothes. Me, I go burn every piece of clothes. Every piece of clothes me I burn. Daisy I go talk about she want him back and whatever. Then a man, me understand you love your husband. I me understand you've been in a relationship for 35 years. I me understand all of the party. But Daisy, when do you love yourself, Daisy? In Daisy, when you gonna love yourself? Rye don't love you and you don't love you. Me not understand. Because only somebody who don't love themselves cannot take them the kind of disrespect they and not talk about you want back the person. Only somebody who don't love themselves cannot talk them the foolishness then. Let's see what Charmaine said. Charmaine said she need a man to video call. Well, Charmaine, like how Rye gone at the girl house now. She can't video call Rye. She can't video call Rye. Charmaine, Daisy no want no video call. Daisy want her Rye. Sometimes you have to wonder. Like, some women make up different. Some women make up different. But you cannot sit in my house and video call your girlfriend. You cannot sit in my house and video call your girlfriend and have conversation with your girlfriend in my house while I am there. As Roy said, somebody a go dead, Roy a go dead. Because something I go, no. Charmaine said if you donate or sell or donate the clothes, me neither sell them and me neither donate them. Me abon them. And video. Me abon them and video say me bun them and send it go give. Me neither sell or no. Me abon them. Colleen say women like Daisy make men behave certain way. You can't imagine the man who say him no want nothing. This is your woman of 35 years. You go say you no want nothing to do with her. Mighty. Some man just Anyways, we're gonna leave Daisy. And I feel like me have something on my tongue. Like lipstick or something. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna go to New York. And sometimes you hear some story from poor people and you're like, But sometimes you hear some story from rich people and you have to wonder the thought process. Charmaine said they will charge you for destruction of property. That's okay. That's okay. And Colleen said, Daisy expire. Daisy. Them can't always charge me with destruction of property. In that sense, me get my satisfaction. Me alright. Turn her over and look for the expiration date that Rice stamp on her. I guess after 35 years, her expiry date is over. She has expired after 35 years. But the good thing about it is, Daisy is still young enough to find somebody. Charmaine said, crime and punishment, is it worth it? Yeah. Crime, yeah. Yep. At that point in time, yup, it will be worth it. It will be worth it for me at that point in time. So, the lady on screen is Kimora Simmons. And I don't know how many of you remember her. She was married to Russell Simmons. So, she was owner of the Baby Fat brand. So, fashion icon, model, all of that stuff. Okay. So, this story came out in March. And the part of the story that I'm going to talk about is it came up because of another trial that's going on with her husband. Her husband is Tim Lesner. He is charged with money laundering and fraud and all kinds of stuff worth millions and millions of dollars, which he has already he has already pled guilty to the charges. So he's already pled guilty to the charges of fraud and money laundering of over $60 million. But the part of the story that I found interesting wasn't that part. The part was that Tim claimed in court that he twice faked, FAKED, faked his divorce from two women in order to remarry, and that he exchanged the vows with former model Kimora Lee Simmons while still legally married to his previous spouse. Okay? That part. That part. Tim stated that, so Kim is Tim's third wife. All right? His second wife, her name is Judy Chan. When he wanted to marry Judy, he lied to Judy and stated that he was divorced from his first wife, which I didn't bother looking up her name because at this point, yeah. So he lied to Judy, his second wife, that he was divorced from his first wife in order to get with Judy. All right? Anyways, he eventually divorced the first wife and he married Judy Chan. Okay. While he was still married to Judy, he started dating Kimora. During the dating process with him and Kimora, he created a whole email address pretended to be Judy, because if you know Kimora, her and Jimon, which is her second baby daddy, and Russell Simmons, her first husband, they have a good relationship where everybody vacations together. All the kids, everybody vacations together. So she wanted that for her relationship with Tim. So she asked Tim if she could reach out to Tim's ex-wife, who she thought was Tim's ex-wife, Judy, to invite her to family dinner, to invite her to, family vacation with the kids and stuff. What happened was Tim went and created a whole new email address pretending to be Judy. So each time Kimora would reach out via email to who she thought was Judy, it was actually Tim that was responding, pretending to be Judy, and declining the various invitations and such that Kimora handed out. Also, it was in those emails that Tim, pretending to be Judy, confirmed that he was divorced from Judy, and that Tim was now free to do whatever he wants and marry. So Tim and Kimora got married. Judy found out about the marriage when Tim wanted to take money out of the account to put towards a purchase of a new home for him and his family to start a new life in California. When that wouldn't happen, he then tried to get Judy to transfer money to him by claiming that it was for another business partner who's also on trial for the same fraud and everything. But the part that really got me, like I said, was the fact that the man wanted to get married to this person so bad. And I mean, it's a part of his whole history that he created a whole, the email account to respond to the emails, to do all of this kind of things to marry to Kimora. They have a kid together. Now, I don't know when she found out that their marriage wasn't legal. I know he was charged, I think, I want to say 2019, 2020. That's when he was charged. And it was soon after that they separated. So I don't know at what point, she found out that she wasn't legally married to him and all of that. So, but can you imagine how, as Sharon says, how deceitful? Can you imagine being? Can you imagine marrying to somebody and then to find out, oh, you were not legally married to them because that person lied to you? That's when you pay somebody. That. And the other part is, because of all of that that's happened, he's also charged for blackmailing. He's also had to pay out $10 million to a former lover who blackmailed him. Right? So in order for the person to stop blackmailing him, he bought a $10 million home for that person to stop blackmailing him. And to top off all of that, Kimora introduced him to Russell, who then introduced him to his business ventures that he was doing. And Russell is now suing Kimora and Tim and accusing them of fraud. He's claiming that Tim conspired to fraudulently transfer almost 4 million shares from the energy drink company that they were part of to help pay for his legal fees and his bail and all kinds of stuff. So this is getting messier and muckier. And like I said, Colleen, I don't have to look very far for strange stories because they just keep coming. They just keep coming. But this particular part, for the man to go through all of that to go get married, how about just divorcing the woman and moving on? I don't understand. But that, my peeps, is the end of the show for the night. I thank you all for staying with me. We're going to do this again next Thursday at 9 p. Actually, no. Next Thursday's Holy Thursday, Good Friday. So, no, we'll do it the Thursday after. I'm not going to be doing a show next week on Holy Thursday night. So, we'll do, I'll be back the week after. Because Holy Thursday, people are going to be doing things, frying fish. We got things to do. So, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Have a pleasant night. Be safe. Happy Easter. Eat all of the fish and the bun. Cheese expensive. Some of them know the part there go. Good night, peeps. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time out. See you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.